What's up, Poker Beast? Welcome back to the vlog. Today is part 2 of the Live at the Lodge live stream. I'm in for about $1,400, down 54. I've got about $1,350 my stack. I'm on a little bit of a comeback after losing a few hands and having to top back off to $1,000 a few times. I'm going big this session, $1,000 in, $1,000 topping off. I was out of my comfort zone, but it is totally worth it to gain experience, to gain knowledge, to learn how to play different styles of poker. Let's get right into the action. The Poker Beast meetup game has moved dates. There's so much interest. The casino has asked us to move it to June 22nd. It's a Tuesday. It's going to go from 5 to 10 p.m. You need to be there. It's going to be a blast. There's going to be a ton of tables, a ton of acts. A bunch of vloggers are going to be there, including Rosie from Next Gen, Wolfgang Poker, Think Blue Poker. I'll see you on the felt. I pick up Queen Jack offsuit in middle position. It's $3 a call, so I'm going to make it 15. We're going to bump up the action just a little bit. We're going to try to get some players to fold out of the hand. Frankie comes in. He's got King Jack offsuit, so he has me dominated 70% to beat me just pre-flop. Sebastian with the Queen 9 offsuit makes the call. Johnny Dirt, Ace 5 offsuit, decides he wants to come along as well. The pot is building, $64 already in the pot, and it folds around. We're headed to the flop, 4 ways. King of clubs in the window, Jack 8, Frankie suit 2 pair. I've hit middle pair. Sebastian has a gut shot straight draw. Johnny Dirt has absolutely nothing, 3% to win for him. I check the action around. I don't mind checking here. I was the pre-flop aggressor, but I have very bad position. I have a hand with decent showdown value. There's no need for me to inflate the pot. I'd rather just imply a little bit of pot control. Frankie with his 2 pair bumps up to $35. Sebastian makes the call with his gut shot. And of course, I'm going to make the call as well. I've kind of cornered myself into this position. I'm not going to be putting in a raise here. Frankie has not been that active at the table, leading me to think that he probably has something decent. I throw in the chips. I make the call. We're headed to the turn. 3 ways, 169 in the pot. And the dealer burns and turns, drops an ace on the board. The ace of diamonds comes out, and the first thought I have is this is a great card to bluff on. Ace jack gets there, queen 10, ace king. There are a lot of hands now that were good on the flop that are no longer good or excited to even be in the hand. My original plan was to check raise here. It'd be very difficult for hands to call, even a hand as good as Frankie's, but when it checks through, we're headed to the river. No bets on the turn. It's the 8 of hearts. The 8 has paired the board. Now it's my time to act. I'm not willing to check raise on this board. It may check through again. So I'm going to bet 125 into the $169 pot. Close to a pot size bet. Putting all the hands exactly like the hand that Frankie has to the test. Frankie is playing like I am. He's a little deeper than he wants to be. He's a little out of his comfort zone. He's not wanting to lose a lot of money. He probably wants to win, but losing on live stream kind of sucks. So I have to assume that he's playing maybe a little risk adverse. He did flop a very strong 2 pair, top 2 pair. But the ace on the turn put the first wrench in his plan, and the 8 on the river has made him wonder, does he have the best hand at this point? He's starting to think, maybe I don't, and he makes the fold. I've pushed him off of the best hand. Sebastian is losing to my queen high. He mucks very quickly. 294 in that pot. I'm scooping one. I got a bluff through. It feels great. I use my intuition. I use my knowledge of board texture. Frankie looks at me, shaking his head. He doesn't believe me. He thinks that maybe he made the wrong play. I just look at him back, give him a little wink. I don't give him any information, but now I am up $65 finally in the green, and I'm sitting with about $1,400 or $1,500 in my stack. These stats are really cool. My VPIP is back down to 26%. I'm sitting in 5th place. From my understanding, you don't want your VPIP to be too high. You don't want it to be too low. I guess what this means is that I'm playing 26% of all the different possible hands I could be playing, which is a little loose, but it's not that bad. The next hand I get is pocket aces. It feels great. Second time I've had pocket aces this session. Johnny Duran, the tie-day, raised to 15. We had a caller on the button, and then I 3-bet it to $80. It's Justice has pocket 9s. He made the call. Everyone else folds. We're headed heads up to the flop. 190 in the pot. I'm hoping to do some damage to the chip leader. Queen 5-6 on the flop. My aces are a clear favorite. 86% to win. I'm definitely going to get a continuation bet. The question is how much. Justice is looking at me. He's talking to me. He says, be careful. I bet $75. I am being careful, Justice. I'm not sure if Justice is going to call or fold, but then he grabs 300 in green, stacks them out. It looks like he's going to go for a raise. What could he have? 6-5? Of course, he could have a set, but I wouldn't be surprised if he raised me with ace-queen. He is right next to me. Maybe he's trying to get a tell, but he just makes the call. We're headed to the turn. The only thing that can sink me is the 9 of spades or the 9 of hearts. The turn comes out. It is the 9 of hearts. I have just been coolered. The question is, how much money am I going to lose? Now, the ball is in Justice's court. All I can get to beat him is an ace. There's only one left in the deck. As you can see at the top of the screen, the ace of hearts has already been folded. I check the action over to Justice. I'm getting a little suspicious. I can't quite put my finger on it, but my spidey senses are going off. He bets 175 into the pot. It's a substantial bet. Is he trying to push me off of a hand? Is he trying to get value out of me? Does he have 7, 8, 2 pair possibly? There just is not a lot on this board texture that he could have that beats me. I'm not very comfortable making the call. I only have one pair, but it is a pair of aces. How can he expect for me to have it? I did 3-bet pre-flop. I make the call. 690 in the pot. It's all likely going back to justice unless I can hit a miracle one-outer on the river. No. The king of diamonds, so close, yet so far. Once again, I checked to justice. It feels good knowing that I put money in the pot when I had the best hand, checked when I did not have the best hand. It's not that I knew he had a set of nines. It's just that I had that feeling. I had something saying, be careful. Justice is quite serious. He bets right after I check. 325, about a half-size pot bet. The pot is now $1,000, biggest pot of the night. And unfortunately, I'm sitting with the losing hand. But there's just not many ways I can get away from aces onto this board. There are not that many obvious combinations that beat me. And hands like Jack 10, he would never get to the river with. So 325, bringing the pot to $1,000. I'm going to have to make this call. I put my chips in. He flips over the bad news. A set of nines, binked on the turn. I toss my aces away. I'm visibly frustrated. I try not to get worked up. I try not to go on tilt when I'm playing poker. But under the lights, under the cameras, losing a pot like that when I could have really been increasing my chip stack is really frustrating. The problem is that with those aces, if he didn't bink the 9 on the turn, I probably wasn't going to make much more money. But since he binked it, I lost a lot. Down $593. I'm now second from the bottom of cumulative winnings. Not a good feeling. I was just in the green. Now I'm in the red. It just shows you how important each hand is and how one hand can change the entire trajectory of the evening. If you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying watching me get sucked out with pocket aces, drop a like on the video. It took me about 4 hours to make this video. It only takes less than a second to drop a like, and it really helps my channel grow. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the action. Coming off of that cooler, I'm looking to rebound. I'm in the low jack. The middle position player to my right bumps up $15. I have ace 5 of spades. I could just flat call, but I would be inviting a lot of other players into the pot. I want to 3-bet. I want to isolate. I want to play this hand in position. I want to make all the players with better position fold out. I make it $80 to go. It folds all the way around to Sebastian on the button. He has 9-8 of clubs, and he's going to make the call. $80 on the button. Suited connectors. Not a bad play. Hopefully I can beat him in the hand, though. It gets back around to Devin, who makes the fold. Jack 10 is good enough to raise, but not to stay around. We're going heads up to the flop. 179 in the pot, and the dealer puts out 3, 4, 10. Rainbow flop. I have a gut shot. I didn't pick up spade. I did some reading that says you basically check here at all times after 3-betting just because this board hits your opponent's range so much more than mine. And sometimes you would check back with an overpair. It kind of puts the pressure on them. He checks right back, and we are headed to the turn. It's the ace of hearts. Now I have picked up my top pair. I do have to navigate carefully. I check over to him in check call mode. He bets $70. $249 now in the pot. I have to be very careful. What if he has ace jack? What if he has ace queen? He's probably going to double up through me. I just took a hit. As you can see, I only have about $850 behind me. If I bet and I'm faced with a re-raise, it's a really tough spot. I'm definitely going to pot control. I'm definitely going to just check call. And I do. I throw in the $70. $319 now in the pot. We're headed to the river. I'm just going to check call. But the river changes it all. It's a 2 of clubs. I've now hit my wheel. I have the 5 giving me the straight. It's the nuts on the board behind 6-5. I don't think Sebastian called $80 pre-flop with 6-5. I should just check over to him, especially seeing his cards. He has absolutely nothing. He's definitely going to fire simply because he has to in order to win, but I throw in one chip. I say all in. The dealer gives me my all in placard, and now this situation, the decision's on Sebastian. Of course, he's going to fold 9 high. That's the first bit of pressure I'm going to put on Sebastian, but it's not the last. I'm back to being down $400, moving back up the chart. I've had a wild ride. I've been moving around a lot. I'm just hoping to get back into the green and pull out a win on my first ever live stream. My aggression frequency is all the way up to 43%. I'm number 1 on that board. I'm not sure what it means, but I am an aggressive player. I'd consider myself a tag player, sometimes a lag player, tight aggressive typically, but sometimes loose aggressive. But 43%, leave a comment down below what this means and if it's a good thing. I assume since poker is all about aggression, poker is all about initiative, that you want to be high up on this list, but I'm just not sure. The next hand I get is 10-6 of clubs. I'm in middle position. I'm feeling a little frisky. I bump it up to $20, open the action. This hand is not the hand I typically play, but I was trying to play just a little bit wider, a little bit more exciting. Granted, I would have preferred to do this maybe from the cutoff or the low jack or the high jack, the button maybe, but in my current position, I should have just folded. Frankie comes along, ace queen of diamonds, probably should have put in a 3-bet here. Sebastian makes the call, ace 7 offsuit. Andrew folds his 8-5. Corey with 6 deuce of diamonds, he also folds. We're headed 3 ways to the flop, $64 in the pot. And I actually have a decent hand here compared to the other two. 7, 3, 5. 2 clubs. I've hit my gut shot straight draw. I have runner to an even stronger straight. I have a flush draw. Frankie's shaking his head. He doesn't like that flop. I don't blame him. Ace, queen of diamonds, and you completely whiff. I put chips in the pot. I'm going with $45. Bringing the pot to 109, about a pot size bet. Frankie folds his ace, queen away. He definitely could have floated a card there possibly, but I understand he's frustrated, and when the board doesn't hit you what you want, it's really, really painful. Sebastian comes along. He's got the top pair, top kicker on the board, and the turn is the 4 of clubs. I've hit my straight, but even better, I've hit my flush. Once again, Sebastian's in my crosshairs, and I'm looking to get all of his chips. He doesn't have a ton left. I bet $100. Sebastian is in a tough spot here. 254 in the pot. He's got top pair, top kicker. He's coming along too, although there's 4 to a straight, but I raised with such a terrible random hand. It's hard to see me with a deuce or a 6. The river comes out. The jack of diamonds doesn't change anything. Sebastian now has second best pair, but for me to get there with a jack by the river on this board is not likely. I'm going to put the pressure on him again. I just put him all in. I know it's frustrating to him, so I'm going to do it again. Leaning on the fact that I had just done this to him, and he probably wants a piece of me. He's only got about 350 left, so I throw in another chip all in. I give him a little bit of a stare down. Poor Sebastian's being kind of roughed around by me, not purposefully, but the hands are just lining us up to battle it out. This is a board where I could definitely see him making a call, but there is 4 to the straight, 3 clubs out there. He's really drawing thin. He's basically only beating a bluff. The question is, do I have a bluff? I absolutely do not. I'm sitting with the check mark. Sebastian, I can tell, is frustrated. He's kind of been thrown through the ringer tonight, just like me. I know how he feels, but he's a smart player. He doesn't let his emotions get the best of him. And he makes the fold. He finds the fold. Great fold, Sebastian. We are working our way back up the charts. Only down $211 now. Let's see if we can't get that even. The next hand I get is a good one. Sebastian limps with ace-8 offsuit. I'm in the small blind with ace-jack offsuit, and I make a raise $20. What does this justice have? He has pocket queens. He's just going to make the call, though. He definitely should have 3-bet. I would always 3-bet my major hands like that. You never know what's going to come on the flop. That could just stop the queens in the tracks. Sebastian's going to come along. A little bit of a loose play, but he's definitely frustrated, which is understandable. The flop comes out. A beautiful ace of diamonds in the window. 7-5 of hearts. This justice has the backdoor heart draw, but Sebastian has the nut backdoor heart draw. I've picked up my top pair along with Sebastian. This may be an opportunity to get stacks in. With a connected board, I'm going to bet $60 in the pot. I go 2/3 pot size bet, $40, and I get an instant call from its justice. Sebastian with his small chip stack has to make a decision. He could call. It could be a little bit of a weak play. He does have a backdoor nut flush draw. He does have a backdoor straight draw. He does have top pair. He goes all in. 263. The action's back on me. 223 to call. I'm definitely not going to get away from this hand. I know that I've had Sebastian against the ropes. I know he's frustrated. The question is, what do I do about its justice? He's the big chip leader at the table. I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to push me around. I wouldn't be surprised if I flatted. He would put it in an all-in raise. So I'm going to have to decide what I want to do very carefully. Do I really want to overexert myself? Do I really want to put in a raise? Chances are it's just going to fold behind me, whether I raise or not. If I raise and he makes the call, then I'm probably beat. So I just slide in $223, making the call. It's back on his justice. He's got a difficult decision to make, kind of like my pocket jacks situation that I was in earlier. Then I was winning, but now justice is beat 2 times over. Aces are so easy to have. He makes the fold. Pocket queens is put into the muck. It's okay, justice. It's very unlikely a queen is going to be coming. After all, there's only 2 in the deck. You're dominated. We both flip over our hands. I see that I'm winning unless 2 hearts or an 8 comes out. The turn comes. It is a queen of clubs. Hits justice, hits his trips, and then, oh my god, the river is the queen of diamonds. It's justice would have had quads. I'm scooping the pot. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for putting in a raise there. I would have been in big, big trouble. I pat Justice on the shoulder, comforting him. His face says it all. He can't believe it. I tell him, if you would have stayed in and you would have taken all my money, I would have been so upset. You already got me with the aces, Justice. You already got me with your pocket nines. Give me a break. And a break he did give me. The table can't believe it. He cannot believe it. What an incredible run out. Poor guy folded pocket queens. He is on a heater. He should have known never to fold. And that's when Sebastian decides to dip out. And he's going to be replaced by a very special guest. I definitely went through some difficult hands. I'm back up $129. Number 4 on the leaderboard. But it's Justice and Andrew are really crushing it. Up over $1,000. It's Justice almost at $2,000. This is going to end it for this second part of the live at the Lodge breakdown. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that. Join the family. It's a lot of fun. We're having a blast. We want you to be a part of it. Get in here. The next episode is going to be dropping tomorrow morning. That's right, back to back. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Kato out.